Hey guys, it's Janice, and what you're looking at right now is my bullet journal. And today I'm going to share with you guys how I use my bullet journal specifically for studying and how I use my bullet journal to function as a student. This video is mainly separated into three parts. I'm going to talk about how I implement the student homework stuff into my normal daily planning stuff. So like a normal bullet journal but with homework and tests included inside for the planning system. And second, I'll talk about I forgot. I think some studying stuff, some stuff I use for studying, and then last I'll talk about some future planning for students that I do in my bullet journal. And yeah, let's get started. So part one of the video, I'm going to share with you guys how I implement the homework and test stuff into my normal planning system. And I think it's in yellow, I forgot. Okay. So, normal bullet journal doesn't usually have a timetable, but as a student, of course, we need our timetable with us at all times, and I just drew mine into my bullet journal. As you can see here, I color-coded each subject with each color, so at a quick glance, I can see what subjects I have to go to that day. And also here in this little space, I put down what room some specific subjects have the classes in, so that's always with me. So timetable is definitely what you need in your bullet journal as a student. And then I'm going to show you my homework/test planning system, which I think is pretty good. It's worked for me so well. So basically each week in my weekly/daily parts, I have this little box in the top for what homework is due that week. So this is my week for September to October. And basically here at the top of the week, I have this little box where I have a little dotted line in the middle, and basically what's on top of that line is I put down what test I have that day. So for example, Wednesday I had an LS test, and then down there I just put homework. So homework due is all down here, and the tests that I have for that week are all up here. So at a quick glance I can just see, oh, I have to study for this test this week, and then I can also see what kind of homework I have to do that week. So this is really useful for me. It's kind of like a weekly, but like a tiny weekly. So I kind of made that up myself to plan my homework and tests, and I use that for almost all the weeks, as you can see. So they work really well for me, and this is definitely useful as a student. And then I have exam timetables. So as a student, obviously we have exams. The exam I had in November, it was like a 2-week exam, so I just drew a little timetable down here, put down the exam times and rooms. And yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory, just an exam timetable, and I think as a student you have to keep this inside your bullet journal, maybe stick in the timetable your teacher gave you, or just draw your own, as I did. And also, this little, kind of like a hack I did, is basically sometimes for a weekend, like for this weekend I had a lot of homework to do to prepare for the next week, and it was just so overwhelming and I didn't want to waste so much space in my bullet journal for that. So basically I found a piece of sticky note, I stuck it on the week, and then I wrote down everything I had to do for the next week. So in preparation for the next week I had to study for all of these tests and do all that homework, and I just wrote it really ugly and stuck it on a piece of sticky note so I can cross it off however I like it. It's basically like the to-do list, except for like it's extended. And also, if some of the work has to be transferred onto the next week, I can just peel this off and then stick it onto the next week, which is pretty good. So this sticky note system is really useful as a student when you have a huge homework load, which I do have all the time. Okay, and second, I'm going to talk about how I study with my bullet journal. So I wrote a study plan at the beginning of the term, and basically it's for each day of the week. I'm going to do some studying for whatever subjects on that day. So Monday I'm studying chemistry, Thursday English, so that's it. That's basically it. So I have the subject on top here, and down there I have some methods of studying. For example, for literature class, I could reread the text we're supposed to read. I could look up some themes and motifs. I could copy out the PowerPoint the teacher gave me, just stuff like that. So I have some options to study every day, and this really helps me pre-study a lot, and it helps me just remember stuff better because I study it every single week. And then I have my study log that I used for 1 or 2 weeks. I didn't really keep this up because it was a bit too annoying for me. I had to keep track of my time all the time, but if this works for you, I think it looks really nice and it could be helpful. And basically for each day of the week, I just put in the time that I studied. So I do color code it according to different subjects, as you can see here. Red is for math, something like that. And basically I color code it and then I draw it in whenever I study. So if I study 2.5 hours of Chinese, I'll put that in and color it in. And then at the end of the day, I will write down the total amount of time I studied that week. And yeah, so I can see what kind of subjects I study more and study less, and I can also see which day of the week that I study the most. And yeah, I guess this could be useful if you like stuff like this, but I didn't really keep it up. And then, last of all, I'm going to show you guys how I use my bullet journal for pre-planning as a student, and this is so important for me. Okay, project planning. This is possibly the most useful spread I have for future planning in my bullet journal, and it is basically planning for a large project that extends over a couple of terms or like a whole year. And so here I have my LSIES project, and I have my SBA project for literature. And basically what I did here is I put down the date for the due date of different parts of the assignment. For example, my project for LS, there's like, I don't know, 4 different parts. And then at this date I had to finish part 8. So, and then within part 8 there were like 3 different main sections. So I basically just put down every task I needed to do and a due date, so I could separate the entire project into different stages so it's easier to do and work on. Yeah, this is the task name, and that is remarks. So if the teacher gave me any remarks to improve that part of my project, then I'll write it down here. Or if there's some special things to note, I'll put down there. And also here is just a place for note taking. And same here for my English literature project. I had to brainstorm what topic I would do for my project, so here I can see some brainstorming. And yeah, this project planning is really awesome for me because it helps me separate my tasks into different smaller sections, and it really like alleviates the stress level. And yep. Okay, exam planning. So these 2 spreads are also really useful for me. So basically in November I had my exam, and like I think 6 weeks prior to the exam I started exam planning. I didn't actually start studying vigorously 6 weeks before the exam, but I just started planning. Yeah, so here for exam planning section I have my subjects, all the subjects where I have exams for. And basically here on the side I prioritized my weakest subject. I put number 1, and my best subject I put number 10. So basically number 1 is my main priority. I have to study a lot for number 1, and number 10 I pretty much don't have to study if that subject is easy for me. And on the right here I just put down the syllabus for different exam papers I had this term. And then down here I had some kind of like, I don't know, time management stuff. So I reminded myself that 6 weeks before the exam I had to start pre-planning, creating a schedule, prioritizing my stuff. And maybe like 2 weeks before I would have a past paper award, do some past papers. I didn't actually do this for this term because I was a bit too lazy. But yeah, so for each week I kind of gave myself 1 or 2 tasks that I had to do to prepare for my exam. So this really helped me keep focused, and I was always aware that the exam was like maybe 5 weeks or 4 weeks away, so I was aware of that and I could study accordingly. And then over here I had this 24/7 weekly planner. I printed this online. I don't remember who from, so I can't really put the link down below. But basically I tried to plan out my day, kind of make it into a routine. But as you can see, this didn't really work out, so it's kind of not filled in. And on top here I just have a sticky note of my chemistry syllabus because over here it just wasn't enough space. So I separated it here. And that's my syllabus. And then for another pre-planning spread, I have my future study spread. So currently I'm in Form 5, which is like grade 11. And I have to start thinking about future study and, you know, college, university, stuff like that. So here is just a spread for me to prepare for that. I have a space for subjects I have interest in. I have a part for which countries I might think of going to study, and things to remember while looking for a subject to study. And here a little brain dump. It was just kind of a brief look at what I want my ideal grades to be. So I just brainstormed over there. And just my kind of research page. I have to research some kind of subjects in different universities, see the requirements, see the, I don't know, scholarships or the fees, And so I just have the topic to research here and my findings over here. And the part over here is just for some other random notes. So this is really useful for studying. Whenever I find out something about future study that I think it's really important, I'll just jot it down somewhere on this page, and that's really helpful for me, so I have all the information on one page. And the last spread I have for future planning is just for homework planning during the holidays, which is right now. So right now it's Christmas, and basically I have a whole homework list over here of all the homework I have to get done before 2017. And basically here I have the dates. I put them in Christmas baubles. I don't know. And so on the 3rd of January, the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th, I have different homeworks to be handed in. So I write them down, a little checkbox, tick it off if I finished it, the usual. And here is, it says later, and it's basically some homework that I plan to finish during this holiday, but it's not due that quickly. It's due at some later date, so I put that over there. And also to study, here are some tests that I'll have to take when I get back to school after the holidays. So I wrote them down, so during the holidays, after I finish my homework, I'll start studying on these. And also this little part over here is just for personal projects. So obviously I am a huge advocate for personal development, and I really hate that we have so much homework this Christmas that we basically have no time for ourselves. It's so annoying, but I guess we have to deal with it. But for myself, I wanted to be centered this Christmas and just also do some personal stuff aside from the schoolwork. So I wrote down some personal projects I might want to do this Christmas, such as preparing for my next bullet journal, organizing my desks and stuff like that. So this Christmas spread is just for my homework and then my little personal stuff I want to get done this Christmas. And as you can see, here is my little schedule for this Christmas, and I just put down which dates I have events to go to, stuff to go to, and then which dates are empty for me to work on my homework and personal projects. So that is basically it for my bullet journal study video. I hope this video was really helpful for other students who also have to battle the horror that is school, and I hope this video was helpful for students who want to plan in their bullet journal, because I've been watching these videos on YouTube, and I feel like there's a lot of I don't know, people who are already working who use the bullet journals, or parents who use bullet journals, but not so many students. So I hope this video was really helpful for students like me who like the bullet journal. And yeah, that's it. And this is probably the last video I'll post before Christmas. So Merry Christmas, guys, and thanks for watching my videos as always. Thanks for supporting me, and I'll see you later. Bye!